Hi. Oh my god, it has been a hot minute since I've recorded anything, but look! I'm out of the trenches! I'm recording! Now, first of all, before I get into the actual meat of this video, I just have a couple of things that I'd wish to say. First of all, I'm a dude now. That's all I'm gonna say regarding to that. Second of all, if you are interested in Reality Resort, I'm going to be creating a Reality Resort themed podcast called The Reality Report. The first 2 episodes have been fully recorded. The first episode's currently in the process of editing and should be out within the next few weeks. Hopefully, that's the plan at least. And finally, Reality Resort is going to be dropping its next Kickstarter on February 17th, so be sure to follow the Kickstarter page and stay tuned. Any and all donations for the project are sincerely appreciated. Please donate, even if it's just $1. And if you can't donate, please share the Kickstarter around because I need this series to be finished. I need this season to be made. Please, I need more Marcus content! This is a really random thing to interject into the video, especially because it has nothing to do with it, but I know that I will never get a chance to ever talk about this ever again. But I have a custom-made Marcus plush. It's real, and he's like really big. I paid real money for this thing, and it's incredible. I also have a Nick, which I'm sure you've seen around somewhere, but I have a Marcus too, and yeah. Now without further ado, let's get into the analysis. First of all, I do want to take some time to actually talk about the visuals of the intro. It begins with us seeing 3 of the eliminated contestants' homes, that being Seth, Kylie, and Tino's. I absolutely adore the amount of detail that went into the backgrounds. Like with Seth, you can see all the baseball memorabilia, a picture of his mom. With Kylie, you can see one of her cats as well as some anime figurines. And finally, with Tino, you can see some weights as well as a gym water bottle, which is pretty neat. Okay, I know this isn't like mind-boggling or anything, but just seeing small details like that really make the characters feel a lot more human. There was genuine thought and effort that went into these backgrounds that were only visible for a couple of seconds in the intro of all places. Like, the artist put some damn love into those things. I also think it's just really nice seeing how the characters would decorate their own space. Just a small thing to think about, you know? Okay, moving on from the first literal 3 seconds of the video, you can see how all out the animators went with the character acting on this thing. One thing that I've always loved about Reality Resort is how expressive the characters are, and I think slowing down the frame rate of the intro allowed for the characters to create some really cool dynamic posing. Also, using this intro as a way to show off the main character dynamics from the show going forward is a really good idea. For all we know, this could be someone's first episode. This will allow for the viewer to get the main idea of the character's main dynamics going forward. Those dynamics in question being Isidor and Drew, Sarah and Brad, Finn and Marcus, and Olive and Vijay. Really the only duo that hasn't shared a whole lot of screen time together is Monica and Anelise, but that's fine, just make me look like an idiot then. Okay, now the rest of this analysis is gonna seem like a bit of a stretch, but just hear me out. If you think about it way too deeply, just like how I do, if you really think about it, the contestants in the intro match with the lyrics that they appear with. Okay, well, not all of them. I honestly don't really have much to say about Drew and Finn, but just hear me out, okay? That goddamn money is on Marcus's mind, and that is the only reason why this dude is here. He is not here to fuck around and find out. He wants that money, yeah. I want that money, yeah. I want that money, yeah. Give me that money. Marcus has always been straight to the point about how important it is for him to win and how he's going to do anything in order to achieve his goal. As for him being paired with Finn, not only do they have a long-running rivalry throughout the show, but I think this pairing could be symbolic of what's to come in the future. Perhaps while he's the one falling down now, Finn will come back up and be the one to sweep the game under Marcus's chin without even realizing. Anyways, this one's kinda straight to the point, you get the idea. As for the next line, however... Oh, Isidor, do I have a bone to pick with you, girl? While I don't necessarily think this lyric matches with Drew all that much, for Isidor, the stakes of her life are getting higher. She's still unsure of what she wants to accomplish with her life, nor does she have a path picked out for herself, which we know is something that she takes quite seriously. Not only do we know this through her interactions with Sarah, but even her character bio reads, "An ongoing battle between how she thinks of herself and how she views the world causes her to struggle with wanting to make the most out of her time on Earth despite knowing how awful it can be." Maybe I'm looking way too into things, I don't know. But it's something to think about. That's all I'm saying. Topaz is all on her own. Not only during the game, not only during the intro, but also with this line. She's the only contestant that's shown to be on her own.
Damon, it's clearly because there are an odd amount of contestants, so there had to be one person on their own.
Shut up and hear me out for a second! Throughout the entire show, since episode 1, Topaz has shown to have a fiery soul and competitive nature that has caused a rift between her and her other teammates. And especially after episode 10, I can imagine that this rift has grown even stronger, not just with her team, but with the rest of the contestants. She was voted in for a block battle twice, and when she won the second time, no one was there to have her back to congratulate her. I honestly think that next to Marcus, Topaz is the most determined to win out of anyone in the cast. Okay, now I originally didn't think that this line had to do with Brad and Sarah as characters all too much. After rewatching episode 10 though, you can tell that the stress of the game, as well as the love triangle between Anelise, Brad and Sarah, is growing more and more tense with each passing moment. I feel as though both Brad and Sarah are being torn down, but in their own different ways. Sarah being brought down by people like Anelise and Olive, but I think this line especially matches with Brad, who has seemed to grow more and more irritable and frustrated with the game, going as far as to begin to doubt his skills for being a leader. Admittedly, I don't have much to say about Anelise here, but we can all agree that this line is perfect for her, right? Growing up as a fashion model and being around in the spotlight and cameras her entire life. We can all sense that the jury phase is building up something pretty big for her, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've heard a lot of people say that they hate Anelise and think that she's nothing but a cluster of 2 or 3 traits, when I genuinely think that's the furthest from the truth. If you guys really do want me to, I might make a video doing a deep dive of Anelise because I do think she's a really interesting character. Initially, I didn't really have much to say about Monica either, though I find it interesting how she started being super excited about the cameras and witnessing the drama unfold. But here you can see she's visibly getting more and more tense as the game continues, realizing that she had made a mistake for joining one of the many shows that distance her from her kids. Not only that, but Olive's charade being broken in front of her eyes clearly hurt her. You can tell that Monica doesn't find this fun anymore. Speaking of Olive... Okay, so we can all agree that Vijay and Olive are in hot shit right now. Both of their schemes being exposed during the block battle in episode 10. They definitely both bit off more than they could chew, which I think in turn has caused them to become targets for other contestants moving forward. A visual detail that I really like about the intro is that you can see Olive hovering on top of Vijay, which I think not only shows her desire to win, but also a difference between her and Vijay's playstyles. We see that Olive doesn't necessarily feel guilt for having to push others down for pulling herself up. Meanwhile, despite Vijay playing a similar cutthroat game, has shown to feel genuine guilt and remorse for the characters he's wronged, like Charles. And that's all I really have to say about this. In case you can't tell, I am super excited for the jury phase, not to mention the musical episode! I get to hear Marcus sing! I hope you enjoyed this super quick analysis video. I don't really plan on making a lot of these, so, please don't beg for them. Subscribe if you're interested in a lot of voice acting, reality resort rambles, the future podcast, etc. And I'll see you all another time. Bye bye!